Hello, everyone. My name is Ida Mae. Can everybody say, hello, Ida Mae? Today we're going to be painting a beautiful nature scene with a butterfly and a flower. One of the most beautiful butterfly and flower combinations is the monarch butterfly and the black-eyed Susan. So, to do our black-eyed Susan and our monarch butterfly, we're going to need some paint, a brush, a canvas, a mixing plate, and a towel. I'm so excited to paint this painting with you. So before we begin, say, if I believe, I can achieve. One more time. If I believe, I can achieve. Well, I believe you can do it, and I'm so excited to be here with you. Remember, your life is a canvas, so paint it with faith. Let's get started. So, I'm going to get all of my supplies. I'm going to attempt to do this painting with yellow, red, black, white. Okay. So, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to wake up our canvas. Wake up, canvas.
Wake up, canvas.
So, the best thing to do for me to wake up, when I wake up in the morning, I drink a big glass of water. That helps to get me nice and refreshed as I stretch. So, we're going to do that for our canvas. We're just going to paint our canvas with a nice coat of water. Start from left to right and paint your canvas with a nice coat of water. Now we're going to paint our entire canvas with a light gray color. Let's start off with white with a tiny bit of black and add more black as we go to the bottom of the canvas. So first we're going to start off with a nice light gray. Light gray is made.
Mommy, I want light gray.
Light gray is made by adding white and a little tiny bit of black. Oops. And you're going to imagine that your canvas is made up of 3 different portions. And your first portion is going to be 1/3. So you're going to come down about 1/3 of the way with your first light gray. Your second light gray color is going to be in the middle. So this time we're going to add a little bit more black to our white. And this will give you a darker gray. Bring this dark gray color down to about 2/3 of your canvas. So now that we have the darker gray and the light gray, you're going to mix the dark gray with the light gray, starting at this bottom point. Just say in your mind, up, up, up. And you're going to blend together your white and your gray. So can you say it with me? Up, 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 up. And keep going up until you mix all the colors together. And you can bring it back down as well. I'm using a generous amount of paint, so I have a lot of paint to blend. I think this is my favorite part of painting, is painting in backgrounds. I like blending the paint. The darkest color gray is going to go on the bottom. And we're going to add more black to our gray color. Ooh. And this is the darkest gray. But you don't want to make it black. Just like a nice dark gray. Okay. Now this is the surface of our painting, where we'll be painting a black-eyed Susan and our monarch butterfly. We'll let this dry a bit, but before we move forward with our yellow and orange hues, we're going to paint the center of our black-eyed Susan, which we're going to use black paint.
Mommy, can I have red? Because I want to make my own butterfly.
No more questions, okay? Okay, so our next step is going to be, we're going to imagine that our canvas is split down the middle at a diagonal from here all the way to here. Our butterfly is going to go on this upper part, and our flower is going to go in this lower section. I'm just mixing in more of my gray paint down there. Okay, so right here in the middle, we're going to create the center of our black-eyed Susan, where our butterfly will sit. So you can create the center of the flower and find the middle of your canvas, and on the bottom lower section you can draw a circle. And this is the center of a flower, so we're going to make it flat on this side and round on the top. So it's sitting kind of at a diagonal. Okay, when you're finished creating the center of your black-eyed Susan, and mine is a little gray, and if yours is darker, that's quite all right. Go ahead and rinse your brush. Your paintbrush probably has a lot of black and gray paint, so make sure you take your time in cleaning it. Roll the brush off the tip of your water cup, ensuring you get all of the water out. Finally, you're going to take your brush and squeeze it. And now we're ready for our second step. Let's mix some colors. We're going to be mixing the colors yellow and red. Let's start off with yellow and a very tiny bit of red. This will create a bright, like a bright orange, yellowish orange. You should have more yellow. You want to keep it nice and bright. When you have the yellow color mixed, we're going to start at the highest corner. You can create one dot right there, right in the corner. So find the right hand corner and create one dot in the center at a diagonal. You're going to create another dot closer to your flower center right here. So visually, the dot can go from here to here. Okay, now we're going to create two more dots. This is for the bottom wing. We're going to create a dot right here and a dot straight across. This is for our bottom wing. Let's connect those lines. We're going to go in an arc. So instead of going straight across, we're going to go over. And then we're going to go straight across and over. There wasn't a reference point for this line. It's just going to go straight across. So I'm going to wait for our friend. So we kind of created an arc here, and we came straight across, and we kind of created a bump there. We're going to do the same thing for this butterfly wing. We're going to create a dot here. So it's going to go straight out like this. So we're going to come out like that, and we're going to create an arc that goes in and out. Let's try that up here. In and out. Did you do in and out? And you can connect these with a straight line. It might have been easier to do a heart shape and an upside down heart shape, but sometimes this is a learning process. There's no mistakes in art. But this does kind of look like a heart shape. So you can go ahead and rinse out your brush so that you're not getting too much of that gray paint inside of your butterfly. The bottom of our butterfly is going to be more of a dark red hue. Well, actually, the bottom is going to be lighter. The top is going to be of a dark orange. So let's mix the colors for that one. I'm going to mix together some red paint and a little yellow to make a bright orange. Red and yellow. We're going to start at the very top. I want to brighten that up just a little bit. So I'm going to add a tiny bit of white, just to brighten that red up just a little bit. So I'm going to start painting in that shape. Let's add a little bit more yellow to this bright color. Remember how we painted up to create a blend. Let's paint up. Let's add a little bit more of this bright red yellow, bright red orange. I'm going to add some more yellow. Because I want to get a nice bright yellow orange. So it's bright at the bottom and it's going to be darker at the top. And we're going to start off with this color on our bottom ring, but let's rinse out our brush because we're going to have a bright yellow at the bottom. So I'm going to rinse out my brush. To get all of the red out. And now I'm going to mix yellow with white. And that's going to give me a nice bright yellow. Let's start with the bright yellow at the bottom. So the top should be yellow, going to medium yellow, and add bright yellow. And bright yellow is yellow with white at the bottom. Mixing my yellow with white, I'm going to start at the bottom with the bright yellow and going up, mixing it in together with the medium yellow and letting the yellow, the regular yellow, or the little tiny bit of yellow orange being at the top. So you should have an ombre of red orange, medium orange, yellow, medium yellow, and bright yellow at the bottom. And I'm just going to brighten up all those colors just a little bit. It's kind of going up. I'm going to even brighten up my red orange and make it a little bit more bright. There we go. If you want to add a little bit of that red orange to that top pocket, that's okay. Just giving a full spectrum of color. So this is going to be our butterfly. But we're going to let it dry and we're going to paint over it with our black lines for our monarch butterfly. Let's work on our flower. This should almost be dry. So a black-eyed Susan is basically like a daisy with a kind of a dark face. So we're going to start by painting large yellow petals. I have a dark, kind of a dark yellow, but you can use the yellow that you have. So we're going to start by pulling paint from the center of the black-eyed Susan, and we're going to come out with a long petal. And that will be straight, and the ones above it can be straight, but these can be a little curved like that. A little bit of a curve. And these can be straight. And maybe as they go up, they can have a little bit of a curve. And let it curve up. And make sure that each petal is touching. And if your paint is mixing with your gray, that's quite alright. Just dip your paintbrush back in your yellow and get a nice dollop of fresh yellow paint. And that is your black-eyed Susan. I'm just going to run these petals right off the edge. Okie dokie. So now our next step is we're going to paint the body of our butterfly. Rinse out your brush and make sure you pull all the yellow paint out of your brush. And now we're going to paint the center of the butterfly, which is a tall oval. It can touch the black-eyed Susan. That's quite alright. And I'm using some black paint. And I'm going to use a little black dot for the head. I'm going to create the body more of a letter C or backwards C to kind of have it curve in just a little bit. My yellow paint on the butterfly is still just a little wet. I'm going to take my brush and clean it and just take the very tip of my brush and dip it in some black paint. Make sure you're using just a little bit of black paint. To ensure that you're not using too much paint, it's probably good to go ahead and clean your brush. And you're going to make an arc that starts at the top and comes down. And this is going to be your butterfly's antenna. And I'm using just a little bit of paint and creating a long, dark antenna. Okay, who's ready to paint in our monarch butterfly leaves. So we're going to all wash our brushes out together. And then we're going to start painting in the patterns on the monarch butterfly. Okay, so the first step is we're going to outline the whole entire butterfly with black paint. When you're doing this process, be sure to use a very limited amount of black paint. This will help you create better lines. So starting on the outside, outline the entire shape of your butterfly with black paint. My technique is that I drag my paint brush so I can get one fluid line. If it helps you to pick up your paintbrush, that is quite all right. So we're outlining our entire butterfly with our black paint. Our next step is we're going to work on the butterfly wing. Let's work on the bottom butterfly wing. We're going to divide the entire wing in half. We're going to create a small bubble in the very middle. And you can make this bubble nice and long. Be sure that if you're mixing the yellow paint and it's getting into your black, just go back and get more black paint and overlap. That's what happened to me. So we're going to do one big bubble in the middle. And make sure that you make it nice and long. Now we're going to divide it into small sections. Let's start in the middle. One. We're going to divide this section into two smaller sections and this section into two smaller sections. Now you'll have a total of 6 sections. Be sure you go back and clean up any paint that gets into the black of your butterfly, because you might pull some of your yellow over into the sides. Now we're going to divide this upper portion into a smaller section. we're going to repeat this process on our upper wing. Let's create a large section in the middle of our monarch butterfly as well. This section is going to be in the middle of this portion. So we have this higher portion and this lower portion. We're going to create a big oval in the center of the higher portion, leaving this portion open. Clean up the black and maybe go over one more time. If you pull orange or yellow into your black, just clean it up just a little bit and keep those black areas nice and dark. Now, let's add 3 sections to the lighter area. We're going to start with one long one, and another, and one more. This section can connect with this section. Now let's go over all of our lines with black paint. My black paint is mixing just a little bit, so I'm going to get more black paint. Now we're going to break down these smaller sections to even smaller sections. Let's start at the top. Let's divide this section into 5 small sections. 1, 2, 3, 4, and finally 5.
Mommy,
I'm going to break the bottom section
this is mine.
into half, and now I'm going to add 4 small sections to this section. And now you have a monarch butterfly with lots of sections broken down on its beautiful wings. It may take a while for your painting to dry, but let's make sure that we get all of the main parts, which are the head and the body, covered in our black paint. So I'm going to go back over the body and the head in black paint, and even those outside sections that we outlined in the very beginning, going over them with black paint. Okay, now we're going to use some white. So let's rinse out our brush so that we can use a little bit of white paint. Rinsing out your brush, you're going to press into the bottom of your cup. Squeeze out any water remaining in your paintbrush. And now we're going to add some white dots to our wings. All you have to do is pick one of the sections here and paint it in with white paint. Not every section, a few sections will do. We're going to pick that one, and maybe that one. Let's add some white dots into the thick area here. Maybe 2 dots at the end of each wing on the black area. And maybe the dots can get a little bit smaller as we go up. Let's add some more of those dots to the top. 2 dots at the end of each pattern, and a few tiny dots as we get closer to the bottom. Wow, I'm sure yours looks really great. Now, let's add a few white dots to the center of our flower. I'm going to add about 10 small dots, the furthest away from my butterfly. Let's wait on our friends. Now that our painting's beginning to dry, we can go back and add some of those bright colors like bright yellow. I'm going to clean out my brush and mix white with a little bit of yellow paint so that I can get a nice bright yellow. You can add some of the bright yellow to the tip of your butterfly. Closest to the center. This kind of reminds me of a sunflower. Sunflowers are beautiful golden flowers with bright yellow petals. I couldn't think of the word petals.
Mommy made a mess.
Okay. I think we're almost done with our painting. The only thing it's missing is your signature. That's right. Okay. After you sign your painting, everybody, let's hold it up for we can all share our beautiful butterflies. Wow. Those look amazing. I can't wait for you to share it with your friends and family. Can you help me share? Can you share with me our company song? Just repeat after me while you finish up your painting. Just say, I know I can paint what I want to paint. If I don't know the way, I can paint with faith. Okay, we're going to jazz it up a little bit. Sing it together. I know I can paint what I want to paint. If I don't know the way, I can paint with faith. One more time. I know I can paint what I want to paint. If I don't know the way, I can paint with faith. Okay, thank you all for coming today. And I'm going to hold my painting up, and we're all going to take a picture together. So hold your paintings up, and we'll wait on our friends.
This is the Paint with Faith Family. We're a motivational painting company. We believe you can do all things. All you need in your life for your dreams and goals, just some motivation, some guidance, and some faith in yourself. Remember, your life is a canvas, painted with faith. I know I can paint what I want to paint. If I don't know the way, I can paint with faith. I know I can paint what I want to paint. If I don't know the way, I can paint with faith.
Wanna have a paint party? We come to you. If you wanna paint night, that's what we'll do. If you can't come out the house, that's just fine. We could do it at your house, or we could do it online. It's like being in person, and you can't tell if you need a paint pack. We'll send it in the mail. We can do it online or face to face. Your life is a canvas, so just paint it with faith.
Paint what I want to paint. If I don't know the way, I can paint with faith. I know I can paint what I want to paint. If I don't know the way, I can paint with faith.
You need a guide, just motivate with art. No need to be an artist, you just need to start. There's no mistakes. Your life is a canvas, so just paint it with faith. If I believe, I can achieve. That's all I gotta do to be who I wanna be. Paint with faith, says I could do all things. So if you don't know, then you gotta see.
Paint what I want to paint. If I don't know the way, I can paint with faith. I know I can paint what I want to paint. If I don't know the way, I can paint with faith.
We don't take L's, we only learn lessons. A master artist for every session. You're telling us we need to be positive, so when you snap back the negative. A masterpiece, yo, that's the plan. To hold up your canvas and say, I can, and that's the plan.
Okay, everybody. Thank you for joining me again. This is Ida Mae signing off. Have a great day. Bye-bye.